Hello, I am Zinfogel. Today we are checking out the Rachel is Extreme Battle on the Take On Battles with Trainers from Different Regions event. Back when Rachel is Extreme Battle released, she had many players perplexed because she appears immune to critical hits, but she doesn't have vigilance. She has robust physique, and it doesn't help the game doesn't do a good job of explaining what that does. Robust physique makes you immune to critical hits until you are afflicted by a status condition. Now, you could not bother and brute force through Rachel's health without the use of critical hits, but the Galar roster has an aptitude for applying status conditions, so we might as well. Note that Rachel has a Team Sync Cure, so when she sinks, she heals her party from status conditions and activates Resilience at the same time, so pre-sync clears are preferable here, because Team Sync Cure is a massive headache. Besides those passives, you have to deal with Team Fierce Entry 2 and strong spread ground type attacks. Normally, I wouldn't emphasize something as mundane as a type weakness, but a lot of Galar pairs who could deal with robust physique happen to be weak to ground. Alistair is weak to ground, Oleana is weak to ground, Sonya is weak to ground. It is a legitimate concern. Rachel also gatekeeps physical offense. She has Sentry Entry x2, which halves the power of physical attacks, and she debuffs attack very often. If you insist on bringing a physical striker, Headstrong is a goaded lock skill for many Galar pairs. When looking at the requisites of this fight, my first thought is bring a special striker who applies a status condition. If you cannot do that, you want a strong special striker plus a utility pair who can apply status conditions, but status is not the only way of bypassing robust physique. You can also resort to pairs with piercing blows, which is this game's equivalent of a mold breaker, although it doesn't bypass Sentry Entry x2. When using status, I would avoid sleep or freeze, because enemies are going to recover from that immediately and activate resilience, so that makes it harder to depend on pairs like Melanie, Holiday Leon, or Champion Bid. If possible, I would also remove Rachel's attack races. Those increase her damage exponentially, more or less, so removing those is a huge relief for your tanks. Something funny about the current free-to-play Galar roster is that it's non-existent. You have a Hope, then Event Victor, then you have to look at general pool pairs, and even then it's very difficult to find a special striker. Your only option is Alistair. Fortunately, Event Victor and Alistair make a formidable duo. Event Victor has a commanding offensive presence thanks to Ghost Zone that can be further extended with his Field EX. Meanwhile, Alistair has the capacity of applying poison to shoot down Rachel's robust physique, and he can complement Victory's offense with his Ghost type attacks. Other Galar special strikers who deserve a mention are Raihan, Sinasud Leon, and Losh Marnie. But looking at limited Galar pairs, there are some very strong on-type options. OG Leon is a given. He wants some offensive support to pacing with the fight, but Inferno is crazy strong and it adds burn 100% of the time. Max Flare users also delete Rachel with the correct sequence. Bid and Anniversary Raihan have that capacity. Hell, even Gordy when supported by Champion Leaf or Custom Steven. Challenger Gloria has to deal with Sentry Entry x2, but something sneaky you can do is turn her into a flying type, because that form has piercing blows, so you wouldn't need a status to bypass robust physique. Speaking of piercing blows, Galar has its fair share of users of the passive. You may consider Battle Tower Leon or OG Victor. Champion Marnie's body move also has innate piercing blows, so she can easily brute force the fight. As for support options, you are looking at pairs who buff the party's defense and can spread some recovery to combat the Earthquake spam. Hope works well, Sonya is ideal because she spreads paralysis with Spark. Volgoy also retaliates damage with poison, paralysis, or sleep, but he has to watch out for Rachel's Icicle Crush, because he has an ice weakness. Fall Alistair buffs the party's defense, and he enhances ghost-type damage with Trick or Treat, and at 3-5 he can apply paralysis with a Numbing Blow. Oliani's max move offers strong crowd control by applying poison on all foes, and her Venom Drench debuffs attack at an unparalleled rate. There is also Gordy. You may look at him as a fire-type support, but he has some strong utilities. If you are brave enough, you could have him tank, and he would burn enemies 50% of the time when receiving damage. When humoring of Rion pairs, you have to remember that Rachel's teammates get to spamming Earthquake as soon as possible, so you have to babysit of Rion pairs to help them handle that. Champion Blue is just the best support in the game right now, but he helps special strikers, Discharge allows him to spread paralysis, and his 3-5 grid has Overwhelm 9 for attack debuffs. Champion Leaf packs her strongest utilities on her base kit. She debuffs attack, defense, special defense, she has potion, she has a physical master passive, and giving her Sun roll compression, she enhances fire type damage so hard that she can actually nuke in this encounter. Back when this stage boosted Unovan pairs, Gutsy proved to be the best tool for free-to-play players. Here he serves as utility, he debuffs attack, he spreads paralysis, and endurance helps him tank. Signature Leaf spreads AoE poison while debuffing defense and special defense to enhance your damage. Lucian's Growl debuffs attack and special defense at the same time. He could boost Alistair or Leon, for example. And finally, this stage was originally made for Anniversary N, so he handles this fight perfectly. He debuffs attack, he debuffs special defense, he has a strong special fire type damage, innate piercing blows, all that good stuff. So, for all that preamble, there is a straightforward free-to-play clear for this. Event Victor compresses a couple things. Strong special damage and haste for stat removal. The Shield Doggo is an excellent tank and easily endures damage while Victor does his thing. And the third slot is dedicated to shooting down robust physique. Alistair does just that while benefiting from Victor's Go Zone to complement his offense. If you missed out on Event Victor, you could make something work with Hop plus Alistair. But if you don't have either, that's where things are going to get dicey, because all other Galarian options in the general pool are physical. They are going to have a real hard time breaking past Rachel's Sentry Entry ×2 and attack debuffs, but that's why I put up the sync pair recommendations. Maybe there is something else you can make do with. Even the Victor has a straightforward grid built for offense. I went for Shadow Ball MGR3 and Haunted Healing 1 for consistency. Victor won't be needing Sharp Entry 1 because Hop buffs crit. I am working with a boosted Shield Doggo, but I am pretending it's not there. I didn't pick any of the power boost tiles, and I am also not syncing with Hop because it's not needed for a pre-sync clear. I just went for potion tiles because you don't need anything else, really. Hop could be gridless for all I care. Alistair doesn't need a grid, his base kit is perfectly serviceable, and as for lucky skills, you don't need anything specific, but Critical Strike 2 is always nice to boost your strikers. Alrighty, I am going for a slightly unconventional sequence. I want to take advantage of Rachel's low attack frequency. Her party is relatively slow, and stages like this don't happen too often. First off, I am using Haze turn 2 in order to remove Rachel's X-Speed All, that will slow her down a bit. And I am also aiming a Slush Bomb on center. Alistair could spread poison on the Sidemons right away, but I am aiming for a pre-sync clear. So what I want to do is focus on Rachel for now. The Sidemons can wait until a bit later. First sync goes to Victor to recast Go Zone. And then Alistair goes for G-Max Terror to receive the field effect boost. But here's my weird sequencing. Rachel is so slow that I can realistically attack more often with my strikers, so I stop attacking with Hope because he would be wasting time. I am spamming attacks onto center to get rid of Rachel as soon as possible. If you manage to defeat her before her second Icicle Crash, that's going to skip the Avalug's Bulldoze, and that is quite nice for Alistair because that buys him an extra turn to now spread poison onto the Sidemons. And once Alistair is done spreading poison, you can let him go. It is very difficult to keep him alive through the Earthquake spam, so I think it's better to save potions for Hop and let Victor take care of the rest. I am leaving Crabominable for last because it debuffs its own special defense with close combat, which helps Victor get through its health. But yeah, hopefully you did your due diligence during anniversary and raised event Victor. This battle is very simple with him. You should always maximize event freebies because it's at times like this where we can depend on them. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching, take care, and I hope to see you another time.